Friday, November 4th. It's Bandcamp Friday, and I see I already have a few sales. Thank you, folks. Please show us some support. I'm speaking on behalf of all artists, that are on Bandcamp. I'll mention Michael P. Dawson again because he did a little promo for his and put snippets of his music one after the other on his channel, and it put it into a context like, whoa, this stuff is really good and unique. And it's like, wow, it's a fresh perspective on it. I'll be digging those records up and playing some of that Michael P. Dawson again soon. So, yeah. Thank you, folks. Hello to the folks for leaving me messages. Thank you, folks who are buying the record and paying more for it than than I'm asking. That's an honor, and it's appreciated. When I make enough money off of Bandcamp Friday to pay a bill and help with groceries, that feels like success. Thank you. To complete the week, I'll do another stack of 45s, but I'll show what I played yesterday, because I did listen to some music yesterday, as well as just kind of rest. I had kind of a funky day as far as how my body was feeling. Part of getting older, okay? So we'll start with this, then I'll show the CD, because not sure what prompted me to pull this. Oh, okay, I do remember now. I was putting records away, put away the Massive Attack, and the Massive Stereo Sellout is alphabetically right next. And I always forget what this sounds like. On the Flying Nun label out of New Zealand, what I would call this is a successful recording of sampling fuckery. In other words, this is you could almost just say that it's two people mucking about with samplers and a synthesizer. But to me, to a great deal of success, this is very enjoyable and listenable. Only one or two of the tracks sound like songs. Otherwise, it's these melanges and collages, which I like, especially when it's really done well. Now, partially because I was contemplating my new release for today, Ambient, I pulled this earlier ambient album of mine. I hadn't played this in years. Sonospheres II. This is one of my favorite collages that I made. Do you have a copy of this? I made 500 of these. 250 on red vinyl and 250 on green. And I think you can find a copy on Discogs, but they're gone as far as I've been sold out for a long time. I was really pleased with this. This was a labor of love. This album I made before I had MIDI. So I had to assemble these the old style with a computer, almost like with a tape machine, where you splice things together and you don't have the convenience of just loading something into a keyboard and pressing keys. This was like tape manipulation to the max, and it was a true labor of love. It took me quite a while to finish this. Sounded really good, really happy with this. I even have folks who tell me, I have a few folks who tell me they think this is my best work. Thank you, folks. It's not, but thank you. It's very good work. Thank you. Okay, so I listened to some of the Muffins Baker's Dozen yesterday. I was online and saw where Forrest Fang, another musician I respect, don't have any of his records, but I'm familiar with him mainly through Hearts of Space. But I saw where he had mentioned he was listening to disc number 2, so I went ahead and said, okay, I'll follow that lead. And particularly enjoyed Chronometers from disc number 2. Did I get it right? The thing that I noticed, Dave, I like the name David. The thing that I noticed is that, among other things, you guys are really pushing your skills, and you as a horn player, and Tom, you guys really push it. You really blow. You don't just muck about. You really give us yourselves when you solo. I noticed that. And how very excellent and cool it must have been for the people who received those reel-to-reel tapes of your music in lieu of being able to buy the music in a store. How cool. Very nice, Dave. Which led into me playing this. I was in the V's and W's section of albums yesterday and pulled the V effect. Stop those songs. There's connection to, it's mixed by Fred Frith, Martin BC. Members of Curlew are also in this band. This is really skronky wonky and really good. Partially live recordings. There is a similarity in approach to, like I said, bands like Curlew, Muffins, Art Bears even. Really good. V effect. So I also played some Wigwam. Band from Finland. I've talked about them before. I've been corrected where I've mistakenly said the singer was American. Apparently he's British. Okay, we got it. But what a great band. And this is a kind of a dark album for them. I had an original on Love Records when it came out. Again, madness that I would sell it, but I did. So I was able to, in recent years, replace it with this double album reissue. Along the same lines, I got this reissue of their, I think it's a classic album, Being by Wigwam. I have an original, but this remaster is very noticeably fantastic. It's also a double album where they give you a whole album of the remaster and then the original plus the book. A book didn't come with a book originally. The whole story. Great band. Progressive, jazzy, and soulful. Beautiful blue. Again, a big influence on this band, when you listen to it, is Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, what an amazing musician, an artist. He is one of the prime influences I can hear on this album. Stevie Wonder. Progressive rock. Who'd have thought? Well, I did. Played most of this. I hadn't listened to it in a long time. Jehovahkill by Julian Cope. I've always dug this box that it came in, blue. And this is when I think Julian Cope was at his best. He, as you know, wrote that book, The Krautrock Sampler. And what I hear on here is his ability to synthesize many different styles and types of music and make it his own, or use it for his own purposes. This is killer. Whole album, every song, it's just really good. And he is a modern antiquarian, quite knowledgeable about sacred places in England. So the name of the album, Jehovahkill, is loaded, and I think in a good way. So I didn't curate this pile. I just grabbed some out of my old singles stacks. Let's see what I got. Might be disappointing. We'll see. Right on top. Big hit for Club Nouveau, Lean on Me. This is one that you still hear on the radio here in Omaha every now and then, for some reason. Okay. Let's Go by the Cars. I never bothered to go see them in live. Never bought any of their albums, but the first album, couple albums I liked a lot. Okay. I'm here in the Warner Brothers section. Warner Reprise. Frank Sinatra's label, Reprise. He put his daughter on there. Lightning's Girl, Nancy Sinatra. We got a beat up copy of Horse with No Name by America. Loved this song, and when it came out it was really special. I bought a copy of it, and then I had a friend. This was strange. I went to Creighton Prep, all boys prep school, with a lot of rich kids and upper middle class kids. I made friends with this one kid named Al, who turned out to be, a work of art. And he bugged me till I loaned him my album, Horse with No Name by America. I never could get it back. I never got it back. How weird is that? It was just so messed up. I could never get it back from him. Excuse after excuse, and then I just finally gave up. Al Jarreau, All. Yes, had the great pleasure of seeing Al Jarreau perform before he passed away. What a voice. Man, like Ella Fitzgerald, he could do jazz vocally. That scat singing, he had it down. Noel Harrison, doing Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. I do think I have a copy of Some Velvet Morning. Yeah, I think I do. When I was a kid, I loved Petula Clark. So I have a bunch of her singles. This Is My Song. She had the big hit Downtown, but she also had all these other great songs. Color My World. The Cat in the Window. I love that song. Love that song. Looking to see if I... Oh, yeah, Don't Sleep in the Subway. Another interesting track of hers. I would play these records for you if I could. And then we'll talk about this, because I have a bunch of Carla singles, because Carla was married to my friend Paul, who died of cancer in the year 2000. And he left part of his records to me, which included his wife's singles. So here I have Bill Cosby's Little Old Man. And no excuse for what he did, but boy, did he get a raw deal. I mean, there's people running free still in high places of power and who done much worse than him. Anyway, don't bother me about it, okay? If I somehow triggered you, just keep the fucking trigger to yourself, all right? If you got mad just because I made a comment about Bill Cosby, okay? Gamma, I'm Alive. Somehow related to Sammy Hagar, maybe? Love the band It Don't Matter to Me. I mean, the band Bread. It Don't Matter to Me. Here's an example of something that was like pop psych, but I think really good, and with a symphonic touch. The Neon Philharmonic, Morning Girl. Good stuff. Okay. Ides of March, Vehicle. Early horn band song, really cool. Okay. Anything else very interesting in here? More Doors, Hello, I Love You. And then Light My Fire. Of course, my favorite is the B-side, The Crystal Ship, which for me is a much better song. Much better song. Rhythm of the Rain, The Cascades. It's beat, but it's... I got it. Let's see how crackly this sounds. And let's see if we can get past the copyright people. Just a little bit of it. Yeah, see, that stuff just It's immediate transport back in time. The crackle and the sound of those records. Radio is worthless nowadays to my ears. And that reminds me, someone asked me about the Residents. Where do they start? This seems like a pat answer, but it's seriously my answer to it. When people ask me, what's the best record? Where do I start? I say start at the beginning, and I mean it. For a whole lot of reasons. If you're interested in an artist and you're not familiar with them, start at their beginning. Here's another one. Al Jarreau, Teach Me Tonight. Teach Me Tonight. He had a way with his voice. And another one. Spun Gold, Bread, the Guitar Man. Beautiful songs, beautiful playing. David Gates. Their album On the Waters, I still have it. I love it. I love it. So, as always, I shout out to my family. Send love. Shout out to all you folks watching, sending love. And that's where I'm going to leave it at right now, which it's a Friday. If you can afford to show some love with a contribution to any of your favorite artists or artists, period, on Bandcamp, me included, please drop us a coin today. It really makes a difference when they waive those fees, because during a regular month on Bandcamp, they average out their percentage. And so sometimes you get a sale and you'll only receive maybe half of what the person spent. There's other ones where you get zero of the sale. It all goes to Bandcamp. So Bandcamp Friday makes a difference, folks. Please. All right? And I enjoy. I love seeing how the records are bringing back good memories for people, and the stories that you folks are sharing. They're appreciated. I do. I love it. Music is magic. It can be such a positive magic. It doesn't surprise me that more politicians aren't good musicians, because that doesn't compute in my view of the world. They don't go together. There's a lot of love in art and music, and there's no love in politics, as you can see by the events of the world. Okay, have a good weekend.